Hey YouTube, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode where nothing's easy, here to bring you another hard rant in pertaining to just some clowns that don't exactly know what DEI is. Well, one of them knows what DEI is, but he's just doing it for money, so he needs DEI, and the other one has no clue. Like, it just flies over her head. We're going to look at the gentleman, and then we're going to look at the lady. We're going to hear what they have to say, and then I'm going to pause the video and see what they have to say in pertaining to what, you know, we'll try to debate and see what they're saying. We'll try to construct and deconstruct whatever we have going. So let's go ahead and do this. Appreciate everybody being here, and let's go in. Since I am a, you know, black man, and, you know, I deserve so many things because I used to be a slave, I think I am the perfect person for this video. So let's go ahead and go in. Andy Cortez is part of the what's it called? Kind of Funny podcast or Kind of Funny channel. A channel with low viewership, with some media stars, with Greg Miller and people that don't even mean anything, and they're not even actually funny. I don't even know why they're called Kind of Funny. I mean, I've heard their jokes, and my balls have not even itched once. Okay, I have not heard them say one good joke at all. So might have to change the name a little bit. But yeah, their company survives off of DEI sort of stuff, and yeah, we're gonna see what if DEI is fallen. It would make sense that they would be kind of worried, and we're gonna see how worried they are.
You fucking need DEI because
I fucking need DEI. Why do I need DEI?
you wouldn't have jobs if DEI didn't exist to complain about.
He's right. He's right. Before DEI, we didn't have jobs. That's so right. It's either one or the other. It's either only the white man had jobs before DEI, or nobody had jobs before DEI. We were just all just putting our hands in our pants, walking around, and there were no businesses being made. You know, black, white people, Asian people weren't making businesses. You know, people didn't become doctors, lawyers, that sort of thing, firefighters. You know, before DEI, there was just straight up white people. You know what I mean? As a woman whose ancestors also used to be enslaved somewhere at one time ever, no, dude. We don't need DEI. 5 seconds in and I'm already pissed. True. True.
You wouldn't be making money on YouTube if DEI didn't exist. So
you wouldn't be making money on... Okay, so I know where he's going. He's referring to the so-called grifters like Hypno or Smash JT, talking about J Concept, probably talking about Grums, and saying like they wouldn't need to be around it without DEI. He's saying like some of those channels would be glad to just shut down their channel if video games were back to being normal. And the other half would be like, I would like to talk about other video game things, but the whole video game crash is kind of important, and the culture war is very important because culture is very important per whatever area you're in, whatever region you're in. You're either in the US, you're in the UK, you're either in Asia, wherever you're at, culture matters. That's why it's called a culture war. A lot of people like to ignore the culture war, which is kind of disheartening because culture is a part of us. We live and breathe it. You know what I mean? And then there's other people that say that, you know, they don't like to get into politics, but literally politics is everywhere. I don't know why they say that. But to say that, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. He sounds a little bit racist right now. You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, I couldn't have a job as a black man without DEI. It sounds a little bit racist. But I know he's just saying this because he's losing credibility.
you're really the ones that need it. unless your game has only white dudes, if you have a woman, she better be fucking hot.
Yeah.
You know, get an ugly woman out of my game. That lady better be super smoking hot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's right. He's right. No, he's right. For the ladies, hot dudes everywhere. You know, muscular, you know, whatever kind of dude you want, you're going to just have handsome dudes everywhere. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get some, I noticed he didn't mention men as well, because women deserve some shit too. And then women also like hot, voluptuous women. Surprised. If I look at the word video game correctly, it's called video game, visual, and gameplay. The visual part is kind of important. And if I remember correctly, people were just going over Pan Am and Judy. And even the other characters like Johnny Silverhand over Cyberpunk 2077. Because we are all what? We're all human beings. We like to enjoy things. Surprise, surprise. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Nobody gives a fuck about that boring ass fight. But those ladies, though, in the background, the one model ladies, I was like, excuse me, Mike Tyson. Excuse me. I mean, yeah, you're right. So if we pay $60 to $70, which is a scam, by the way, if we pay $60 for a game and we don't get that visual aspect of it, it's just, why even buy the game? And that's just how Concord died.
Yeah. That's the way they think, right? Back in the day, game development studios were primarily white dudes, and they didn't really think about diversity. And that's one thing.
And that's a good thing. And that's actually diversity. That's diversity. What has Morgan Freeman said? How do we take care of racism? Don't talk about it. Exactly. This is how it happened back in the day, I would say 20 years ago. Back then, even a little bit now, back then, primarily white dudes were making video games. And that's fine. We're going to have to keep it on a level. For black people, what did we primarily want to do as a black person? We primarily, whether or not you're in the hood or not, a lot of us just wanted to sell drugs. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. And some of us black people, we wanted to become doctors. Some of us black people wanted to become, go into sports or play music, play instruments. That's just how we were. White people, and of course, that's just generalizing. It changes. It depends on a person to person. Also, black people love art. And, of course, everybody loves art. But it's a big factor that black people like sports, art, they like teaching. That's just how the thing. Women love teaching. Women love being teachers. You know what I mean? But women also like to create. Women also like to make video games. But there is, depending on your upbringing, people like certain things. I'm just generalizing. And of course, white people like to create things, build things, you know, form a team. And let's not forget, making a video game is a big gamble. A big gamble. Big gamble. So when it comes to a big gamble to make a video game in the video game industry, that sort of gamble doesn't fit well, even back then in like 20 years ago. That sort of gamble didn't fit with most black people. We didn't like that sort of gamble. Of course we had it, I'm just generalizing, but it made sense for most black people back then to go to school, get that education. We listened to our moms, and change change the future in different ways. Well, white people, they like to be risk takers. Generalizing, of course. A lot of people like to take risks, of course. But like I said, perfect example, BioWare. BioWare started off with a couple of dudes who were actually into, I believe, who actually were in the medical industry. And then they took a gamble and said, hey, why don't we make video games? We love video games. And then boom, that's where it just went. And that's programming. That's, programming. That's coding. That's just how it is. Asian people, coding, science, when it comes to the medical industry, when it comes to cooking, it's just a product of your upbringing. And of course, that changes. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is not the white people made video games and nobody else can make video games. What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody's gatekeeping video games.
Right. It was a lot rarer to find non-white dudes in game development.
And that's just how it was. That's just how it was. And also, let me remind you, you said rare. So it was possible for women, men of different colors and ethnicities. They were around. They did make video games. There were also voice actors and actresses in video games that were black and white, even back in 20 years ago. So, what you mean?
And as that changes...
And also, why are you out here trying to play Pokemon with gender and ethnicities? What are you out here trying to search for a black? It's fucking weird. You know what I mean? Where are the black people? Where are the black people? I want to remind everybody that he really doesn't care about this whole thing. He's just worried about his credibility. So let's keep going.
And as college and learning and all that stuff kind of becomes more ubiquitous and more available for everybody.
It's available for everyone, even in the past. It depended on your merit. It depended how much focus you had. And also, it depends on the person. White people, surprise, surprise, they made video games. How could you go up and then bash the white person for making video games and make it think that people think that, oh, we stopped people from other people from other ethnicities or other genders from, making video games? That doesn't make any sense. But now with DEI, now the discrimination happens. Now it happens.
More and more people from different walks of life want to get into game development.
Yeah.
They always wanted to be in game development. They always wanted to. Always wanted to. There was no stopping the gate. They just chose to make games now. That's just how it is. As games started to progress and get bigger and bigger, more eyes were open to other people to make video games. This is not some sort of, oh man, back in the day, they were cracking the whip and I couldn't make a video game. And I'm like, nah, nigga, nobody said that. No, stop playing.
And then what happens then?
They're making the characters the people that they know, the things that they see.
And it's just...
They're making the characters that they know. Sure. How's Dustborn doing? You know that game that was made by two white dudes that were probably straight? Two white Scandinavian or Norwegian dudes that made a game and main character was black. Another character was transgender. Another character was, fat and ugly lady. How about Cole from Gears of War? With a whole team of white people when it came to Gears of War. A whole team for that made Gears of War. Did they just come in and hire one person to make Cole because they didn't know they didn't know how to make a black person? What the fuck are you talking about? What about for gladiators or for movies, for example? What about Princess and the Frog? What about those? What about Aladdin? What about Aladdin? Oh, guys, you can't make Aladdin because you're all white dudes, so you can only make like Beauty and the Beast and shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because people, they do not need DEI. They do not need consultants, companies, and that sort of thing. They don't. You remember the whole queer consultant for BioWare? That's funny. It's funny. It's hilarious. They do not need those because you want to know why? It's because they know people. They go outside. They have conversations with people. They ask questions with the military when it comes to making a Call of Duty game. They ask questions when it comes to, you know, different walks of life, or how to make, like, good question, how to make a boat in fucking Black Flag. They just get that sort of information. They make references. They do the best they can with the information that they got. They don't go search. What? You can't make a fucking Black Flag game? You gotta ask the pirates out there how to make a fucking Caribbean Black Flag, you know, pirate game? What the fuck are you talking about? It's like, oh, get those niggas. They know how to make niggas. Excuse the fuck out of me? Fucking, we got crack addict fucking Mr. Dawn over here, Dawn Soap, and we got Andy Cortez that thinks that he's figured out everything. Are you fucking kidding me? Let's keep going.
It's like the white people do.
Just like you put yourself into stories, right?
Yeah.
And I talked about that with Dragon Age Veilguard, how the game director Corinne Bush, she's a trans woman, and sometimes
that's a trans man. That's a man. See, I know there's only two genders, and that's a man. It might come as a shock that there's only two genders, and if somebody wants to become trans, yeah. But you know, if you want to make a trans person in a video game, all you have to do is ask questions to trans people and then figure out how to make a trans character properly in a video game. But it actually doesn't belong in Dragon Age at all, because you know, it doesn't belong in a Dragon Age game. And maybe if it was in an indie game or some other game that was involved with trans, it could fit. You can't just force certain ideologies in a video game that has already had its roots into. You can't just push in what? Okay, you got a black and an Asian in Dragon Age now. Okay? Are we going to explain who they are? Well, we got to go. There's different races, different skin colors. What are they? Okay, we know the Qunari. We know the Dalish elves. We know the humans. We know the dwarves. What's up with their skin color, though? What makes them? What is one part of the moon and one part of the sun pertaining on the skin color? Why is one with slanted eyes? You know, that sort of thing. We can go into that sort of thing, where things get a little confusing. We could go down this road, and then you added, and that's the funny thing is, people were okay with the whole black and, Asian, being in Dragon Age the Veilguard, but some people were like wondering, okay, well, put them into the game that makes sense. They were like, okay, black and Asian elf. What are they? What kind of, upbringing, what sort of class are they when it comes to elves? We just want the lore to make sense. Instead of just saying, hey, trans person, I'm non-binary. I know, you have no idea what these words are. I know, we brought it up from some other world called America. Does that make sense to you? So when you prioritize yourself, and you make a video game, guess what? The game is for you and not for anybody else. You can make a game that pertains to certain political, sort of ideas, and bring some, sort of like, hey, don't you remember like racism? There's slavery. You remember the city elves? How about when it comes to war, or what war crimes? When it comes to treachery? When it comes to a kingdom or something like that? Or when it comes to a mother and her daughter? When it comes to what's their name, Morgan and Flemeth? They have some sort of difficult, relationship between the two. That we can have those sort of political discussions, and those make sense. But when you add trans into the mix, and then people are like, this is just out of left field. Well, doesn't that raise a question? Why is it just smacked in there? And then you look at the team, And you're like, oh, it's just for them. This video game isn't for me, it's for them. And that's why they have low numbers. And that's why BioWare lost money. It doesn't matter what you say, Andy. It honestly does not. The people have spoken. They said, get this shit out of my face. What I say, I'm just one nugget out of all the people that play Dragon Age. The people have spoken. What? How many people are... We'll look right now, since you think that you know everything. Steam DB, right? Let's go check it out. Let's see. Let's see if people really care about Dragon Age the Veilguard and transgenderism in Veilguard. Let's see. Damn. 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 That's it? That's all you got right there? That's it? You've made this game for 10 years. You made the game for 10 years. And you lost a lot of people. This is all you got. 10 years. 10 years is a lot of fucking money. 10 years is a lot of money. And if I remember correctly, there's a lot of refunds. You know what? My mistake. Let's go look at another video game. Let's just look at Rogue Trader. Let's look at Rogue Trader. Nobody knows Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader is a AA game. Nobody knows what the hell Rogue Trader is. That one makes sense. This game has been out for I don't know how many months. This makes sense. They're actually making good headway. This one's really good. Almost 80%. This makes sense on a AA game that costs $50. This makes sense. And of course they would go low. Let's go look at another game. Let's just go with Dragon's Dogma. Because Dragon Age, Dragon Dogma. I'm cute, I know. Anyway, let's look at Dragon's Dogma. That's how much they got. That's how much are in-game right now. What's a better way to look at it? The charts. Boom. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And of course, this is a low amount because this game has been out for a while. And also, if I remember correctly, you can't make a new game save, which I wish they could fix. You can't make a new game save, unfortunately. So once you finish the game, there's no way for you to play the game and have a difficult, experience again. I wish they added that. I believe that this number would go way up if people actually had some more new game slots or memory slots, but there's only one slot. But damn, they're doing way better. Let's go back to Dragon Age, since I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go back to Dragon Age. Ah, 2 weeks in and this is all you got? 2 weeks? That's your peak? Let's go back to Rogue Trader for no reason. No reason. This random game. Hell, I would like to go to fucking Solasta. I want to see what Solasta has. That's pretty good for a AA game. That's pretty good for a cheap AA game. Let's go to Solasta. Ain't nobody know what Solasta is. Nobody plays Solasta. It's a niche game. I get it. Good numbers. These numbers make sense for what they are. For an indie game, these numbers are good. That AA game, Rogue Trader, that's good. Veilguard, a AAA company that has wasted 10 years to make the game. That's not looking good, man. It ain't looking good. Come on now.
In games, you just put in your own sort of experiences, and that's
your own sort of experiences. If we just focused on making games that was just our own experience, like what I've went through with my life, then I could only make maybe two or three games. 2 or 3 games. You see what I'm saying? And also, what do you mean my own experience? There's horror games out there. What are you talking about? Ah, man. Man, this one time I got scared by a bear, so I made Five Nights at Freddy's. What are you talking about? Your own experience. It's like, ah, man, I'm black, so you must have been a slave. So, you know, let me go talk about how broke I am and, you know, how I've been in the hood. It's like a mix of racism, sexism, and everything in between mixed into one. And he makes him sound smart. What are you talking about? We don't have to focus on our own experiences because one, our own experience for a video game is limited, and number two, people don't need to know my experiences. That's my own personal life. I did not come over here to sell a video game to people and be like, "Hey, I made a video game about my dad." Speaking of which, how's Kzero Zhao doing? How's Kzero Zhao doing? Let's go check that out. You know, we need to focus on our experiences. That's what you said, right? Let's see how Zhao's doing, because we need to make a video game that was pertaining to you know, our own experiences. Right. Tales of Kzero Zhao. Oh! Oh! Ooh, you broke. Yeah, people got laid off, bruh. People got laid off, bruh. That's his own experience right there. You know what his own experience is pertaining to him and his own father? It only mattered to 287 people. That's what happens when you make a game pertaining to only you and yourself. Same thing with Veilguard. Turns out that Veilguard, when they make games that are pertaining to themselves, they somehow come out as a minority for some odd reason. That's crazy. I know, it's crazy. The only people that fucking care, well, let's be honest, not a lot of these numbers are probably pertaining to people wondering how much Dragon Age has burned, but we'll keep these numbers, you know, as a actual thing. Only 90k people care. That's real low. Let's check out Origins. Nobody knows what Origins is. Who knows what Origins is? That's pretty good. That's pretty good for an old game. So what you mean?
So natural to happen.
That's what art is.
It's nothing that's supposed to.
That's what art is? Fine. If that's what art is, then why are people losing money? Why are people getting laid off? If you are making games that are pertaining to you and you alone and not for the player base, then guess what? People lose jobs and they fail. It is not the customer or the gamer's fault for that. That is on you. You want to make a game that's only pertaining to you? That's fine. I hope that you thought about everyone else and you didn't. Guess what? You get Veilguard numbers.
To offend anybody. It's supposed to be.
What's wrong with offending people? Anybody ever heard of BioShock Infinite? Anybody ever heard of BioShock Infinite? You remember what happened in the beginning of that game? I don't need to bring it up. You already know. BioShock Infinite. I'm okay with being offended. Are you? I'm okay with being offended. As long as the story is interesting. As long as it catches my eye. I do not want to play a fucking Dragon Age game talking about hunting truffles for a griffin. Are you fucking kidding me? Having a picnic with fucking Harding and Emmerich? Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, fucking walk around and look around. The world has every.
They already did. The white people that you're racist against have already walked around and realized how a car is used, how a car is made, how a car moves and, you know, explodes and that sort of thing. That's how people made GTA. Red Dead Redemption. They realize how a horse moves. They realize how guns are used. That's how Red Dead is made. All these other games, these games that were made by white people. These games made by white people that you despise for somehow gatekeeping video games. They have already done that thing that you're talking about. You don't even know what you're talking about, Andy. Kind of funny. That hairstyle is funny.
Everybody, your game's having it shouldn't stop you from playing it.
All right. I'm done. Now with him. All right. He out of the way. Start this lady. We're going to try to keep it short because she's got a lot to say. Let's start off with the she's got something to say for anti-woke gamers or anti-woke viewers. So she's going to be talking to me here for a second. She's going to be talking to you guys. The anti-woke gamers, that is you. Yeah, that's you. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead.
For anybody out there who is watching this feeling that they're a normal person, they're not racist or sexist or homophobic, but they do feel like it's all a bit much, it's all gone a bit mad, it is a bit just too woke out there, everything's political, I would encourage you to consider, just sit on the fact for a minute.
It's not that everything is political, it's that just everything is virtue signaling and pandering. When it comes to games where we just want to focus on just escaping, we're okay with playing Alien Isolation. We're okay with playing Rogue Trader. We're okay with playing Fortnite. We're okay with playing Stalker. We're okay with playing all these games. Metro. We're okay with playing these games that have political messagings that fit with the narration. But when you start to bring political correctness and mental illness into the game, it just flies out. Now, I just want this lady to know, first off, if the game fails because people don't want to play that kind of shit, the gamer wins. Point blank, period. The gamer wins. The gamer has voted. The gamer has said, no, I will not be purchasing your game. And the developer says, okay, fuck you, you bigot, misogynist, transphobe. And that person can be whatever the fuck they want. It doesn't matter. It does not fucking matter. When it comes to crime, that's a whole different story. But when it comes to the customer who has chosen, because they have a right to choose what game they play, it is on the developers and no one else. No one else. You know what's funny to me is that I see certain YouTubers like her. I see Andy Cruz, Cortez, and I see all these people that are part of the Access Media, and they always see a game that has fallen and failed and died and layoffs have happened, and who do they turn to? Who do they turn to and blame? Who do you have any idea who they turn to and blame? That's right. The gamer. How dare you? How dare you? Were you wearing a red shirt yesterday? Yes. Well, it's your fault because, you know, I'm more of a blue shirt guy and the person stands there like, what the fuck did I do? I can wear whatever the fuck I want. That's basically the situation.
For a minute, that the majority of the mainstream biggest proponents of anti-wokeism are racist, sexist, homophobic.
These people, it don't matter. It don't matter. I'm going to say it again. No. I want to let people know something. Racist, bigot, all this shit don't work on anybody anymore. Okay? All those things that she has just said, it doesn't fucking matter. Who cares? Now, when it comes to crime and wishing death upon people, then we can start calling the authorities and then we can care. But people choosing, hey, I don't like black people in my game, well, that's their choice. What, you want to go around trying to teach them the ways of liking black people? I'm not going to fucking do that. I ain't got time for that. You want to teach people how to like trans people? I'd suggest you don't, because some religions prefer not to. I'm not going to curate how people should feel. And if that's how people should feel, Fine. There's always going to be hate in the world, honey boo boo. There's always going to be hate in the world, and you're just going to have to accept it. The only difference is how you go about that. How you construct yourself. The only person you can control is yourself. That's it. That's it. Because I guarantee you, a person can start off liking everybody, but as soon as they are bashed over the head again and again and again over pronouns, political correctness, pandering, virtue signaling, again and again, guess what? That person's going to be like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. See what we can go back to what I said about Morgan Freeman. What did he say? If you want to help racism, if you want to help all that other stuff, stop talking about it. But you didn't. You didn't. You didn't. It's your own fault. Or maybe it's not her fault. Maybe it's just the world, just how it is. And like I said, doesn't matter. Game failed. Doesn't matter.
Etc. Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, basically anybody involved.
Hey, Matt Walsh, the baby king. Yo, I like Ben Shapiro. Is she gonna point out these people? Really?
With the Daily Wire.
I like how she brought up Matt Walsh, and Matt Walsh doesn't even like video games. He thinks video games is a waste of time. You chose the wrong person.
Nigel Fiegel and anybody involved with GB News. Just sit with the...
Okay, I get it. You're British, and you got certain information. Okay, got it.
Fact for a minute. That this conversation around wokeism gone mad is potentially using moderate people who feel the effects of a reduction of privilege, that those...
What do you mean a reduction of privilege? Are you talking about underrepresented people? Here is what an underrepresented person looks like. A woman in Afghanistan. There you go. Palestine. You want to talk about reduction of people? UK, America, Canada, Japan. A lot of places like this have freedom, and you're allowed to own a business, own a car. Of course, you got to pay taxes. You can learn to read and write. You can have kids. You got to have same-sex marriages. You can have all these things. So I don't know what you don't actually know what underrepresented means, okay? If you're walking around at a park with your family and your kids are in the playground, and then you just look up at the blue sky and be like, man, it sucks being a slave. What the fuck? You don't even know what underrepresented means. You just see a different color or a different sex or transgenderism, and you just think, oh yeah, they go through it. Yeah, they're black people, there's they've never had a job. If I remember correctly, I saw a video where white people were going around like they were in like the middle class or something. It was like a really rich neighborhood, and the white people thought that black people didn't know where the DMV is. And the guy that was doing the interview was talking to black people and was like, we heard that black people don't know where the DMV is. And the black guy was like, it's on 19th Street. It's right there. So we could shut up about that nonsense. We're going to go ahead and skip and go to, you know what? Let's go over to the DEI that she was speaking to. Okay, this is what she believes DEI. Oh, she's going to break it down to characters. Ooh, I want to go to the characters not hot enough one. The DEI one, she's just going to say DEI is not that. But okay.
The bar is.
Now, I think it's important to note that a lot of these games are usually objectively bad or average games with or without the wokeness in them. But a company that prioritizes DEI and ESG scorecards...
Okay. We're going to have to go back to glossary corner, I'm afraid. I would say this is coded language. Much like woke is kind of coded language.
Are you Continue.
language now for people who are generally just sort of sexist and racist.
No, bitch. First of all, okay, all right, transgender Harry Potter, listen up. When we play our video games, and our video games are pertaining to lifting up a certain group of people and pushing other people down, that is, in definition, in perpetuity, exactly what DEI is and ESG. We could go about the whole, we need to conserve energy because that's tied to ESG when we're talking about conserving energy and, taking care of, when it comes to sickness and like, taking care of waste and that sort of thing. That is also tied to ESG. But what ESG and DEI has tagged along with it is, along with Bridge, is we want to bring up the underrepresented people, bring them up. And they keep on saying they want to bring the underrepresented people along with like white people. So they automatically have said white people bad, white people have more stuff, white people this, white people that. It has already been proven time and again that they have laid off certain people who are veterans to video games, certain people that Rocksteady. Boom, there you go. Rocksteady. Where's Rocksteady right now? Oh, that's right. It's right on the rainbow flag. That's where Rocksteady is. The real Rocksteady is gone. The real Rocksteady is no more. What we got now is whatever she wants. Whatever she wants. She didn't even fucking. Is she? Do you think that she's playing fucking what's that game? Shit. I don't even care about the game. The Kill the Justice League. Do you think she's playing Kill the Justice League? Absolutely fucking not. She's playing Baldur's Gate 3, the game that was really subtle and really, really manageable about what it means to, bring up transgenderism and stuff like that. All they just did was body type A and body type B. Of course, I don't like that, but they kept it on a level when it came to Baldur's Gate 3, where they were just like, we're going to prioritize the game over any sort of, political messaging. And that's what they did. Everybody likes Baldur's Gate 3. Surprise, surprise. Surprise. That's what they did. I appreciate Sven Vinka for doing that for Baldur's Gate 3. What she thinks DEI is they think that we just are a bunch of transphobes and bigots for not liking it, which is not really what it is. It's basically, let me uplift the black, the female, the transgender, the gay, and all the white people. And this has actually happened in BioWare, where they actually, most of the white straight males that were actually in there were teaching the new people, and then they got laid off. And now most of the teaching that they got from the old heads are now gone, and now they are the new executives and that sort of thing. That's it. That's it. Oh, and here's the thing. Those people, each and every one of them, Corin Bush, you got the people in when it comes to Kill the Justice League, the females that are added for underrepresented groups, the black people that are added for underrepresented books, Halo, the new game, each and every one of those is cash money to the publishers. Cash money. That's where this all leads to. Cash money. Using people, being disingenuous and being downright sickening towards certain, groups of skin colors and sexes, and bringing up certain individuals who do not know how to make a video game so they can get money and incentives. That's it. Now, if she just comes up to me and says, oh, it's because of you bigots and transphobes, I'm going to end the video right here.
DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion.
We know.
Again, the sort of thing when a normal person just hears that, they wouldn't have a problem with it. What's wrong with equality? Why are you angry about equality? You know, ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance.
We know that.
ESG is a weird one that's being adopted more because, as I understood it, it was more about being sort of environmentally conscious as well as
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
Socially conscious when you're investing and things like that. So it's a little bit strange to bring that in to the woke conversation, but
no, that is actually part of it. No, honey, don't put that away. You're right. The ecological, when it comes to, helping the planet, which is a good thing. Preserving the planet, which is a good thing. But also the social construct, don't leave that away. And now she's doing this whole backpedaling thing where she's just like, well, it's kind of weird and stuff. And I'm like, no. Come on back. What do you think that means?
Again, it's just more words for woke, basically.
We're done. I told you I was going to stop the video if she didn't know what the hell she was talking about. We're done. Guys, this is a great video. More people that don't know what the heck they're talking about. This is all a money game when it comes to DEI. Of course it is. It's a company. Of course it is. It always comes back to money. It's a money game. That's all there is to it. This has been a great video. I want to play some video games. You guys stay smashing. Oh shit, that's Smash. That's Smash JT. JT, I'm sorry.